And welcome back to another Marvel Rivals gameplay analysis. Today we're doing something a little bit different here. We're going to be viewing Necros playing a healer. Alrighty, so here we got Necros. He's on Loki on his ult account. But he's trying to prove the internet wrong here. A lot of people were mad at some of the comments he made. I think it was blown a little bit out of proportion, but it is what it is. Caused a whole healer strike, and that was certainly something different. So here we go. We'll see exactly how he performs, if he does a good job or not. And hopefully we can get a good amount of value out of this here. Alright, his Loki clones are actually very well placed here. I play Loki as well, and he is a very, I wouldn't say a difficult character to play. Intricate things about him you need to know. And he can be played very complicated, or you can kind of sit back and relax. Just depends on what kind of Loki player you are. Alright, Loki building up that ultimate pretty quickly here. He's got to contend with that unfortunate Iron Fist. In this rank, I'm not sure if Iron Fist is even going to be a threat to him. He just pops over that shift and everything's over. Loki is still, after the nerf, an amazing character here. And he's taking Rocket, going over, probably going to have to drop that ultimate very soon. Drops over the res, looking for some heals. Waiting for their Rocket to be over here. Looks for it, and probably going to be dropping it now. No, he's... Oh my god. What was he doing, bro? Sorry. Alright, he switched over to Mantis here, Necros. He's got it here with the hardest roll. And it looks like they were unfortunately able to cap first point because he didn't throw down his ultimate. That's one thing, when you're playing in a rank like this, you can't really be too focused on ultimate counters. Just throw down your ultimate, make sure not to double cast it with your other healer, and you're going to be fine. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. It looks like he's almost... He doesn't want to play healer anymore, it looks like. He just wants to play DPS. And not looking very good for him there. They've switched over to an Iron Fist as well, and a Star-Lord on their team. Kind of looks like there's been some pretty heavy switches within both teams. So, Loki's really got to be careful. Necros has really got to be careful of that Black Panther. Can take a lot of advantage of those clones if you're placed too closely together. There we go. Getting a little bit of a wipe here. Team's making some difference, and there goes Loki on their team. Throwing it back to Star-Lord. Not sure what Black Panther was doing in the corner there. Alright, so here we have Tommy. He's kind of looking around the clones. What it looks like to me is he just didn't realize that it was a Loki clone until too late, and his reaction speed was just so... not very on tune with how it should be. So unfortunate, but that's what you expect out of a platinum game. Alright, so the enemy team is regrouping here. Unfortunately, somehow they weren't able to kill Black Panther, even though he was right in their backline and had no support or way to get out of that. So unfortunate for them. They're going strong in here with a Cloak and Dagger. Looking for it. Magneto does not have ultimate, so she doesn't need to be too afraid. Either way, she could have pushed up way more further there, but unfortunately she did not decide to do that. Loki has his ultimate up here. Probably should use it at some point. He does not have, he doesn't have his shift, so he's got to throw that down. There we go, he actually puts his ult down this time. Got to be careful of that Star-Lord still. And they pop down a second Cloak and Dagger ult with their Loki. So got to be really careful of this Panther who's pushing up pretty far. Looking for some more health in the back here. Panther's pushing on him. Not really getting too many shots off, but unfortunately somehow he still dies there. I think he could have done something else. He definitely had a swap up. Look, he had a swap available here. I'll show you. He has Loki up. He's looking around, trying to DPS here. DPS mine takes over, and he could have just thrown down a clone far away, swapped over, and the Panther would be none the wiser. But unfortunately, he died there, and it wasn't really that great.
I outnumber you. Much better. You are restored. Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Alright, Panther's going back on Loki here. Necros in the background and forces him to pop his shift. Sometimes, I will say this as a Loki main myself, sometimes you want to pop your shift, sometimes you don't, alright? You don't always just be, especially after the nerf, you don't want to just pop it right away, because if you do that, then you're in a situation where you can't engage as Loki, and you can't defend your team, because your shift is one of the most powerful abilities in the entire game. Alright, like what he did there, massive play for him to get up there, do some healing from the back. Spots like this is where Loki absolutely dominates, where you have to push through a doorway, and Loki can just sit there, heal his teammates with his clones, is just insane for him. Look, he's just sitting in the back. They're getting their things up, taking 0 damage, but they still need to be in view of the Loki, because he just does insane healing. Looking at Rocket here, And taking Rocket's ability, he's going to have to throw down this ultimate right away. Here we go, throwing down a res in the back. Good plays, but that Rocket ult is taken down so quickly. I think, personally, as Loki, if you have an option to take Cloak or Luna, 100% do it. Rocket is great, but he's just not worth it on Loki. And he's taken down for the count by Tommy Jr. on Iron Fist. And Necro's team does not look like they're doing a very good job here at defense. Unfortunately, point is going to be lost to them with 49 seconds on the clock, and we're going to be moving into round 2. Alright, moving back to Necros here. He's on Luna Snow. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see what he can do. Looks like this is going to be an interesting round for sure. Alright, throwing down a couple heals. He's got Iron Fist immediately on him. Going for the threes. Absolutely misses it. And Iron Fist is taking on and distracting with 3 different enemies. Not getting those heals off. Star-Lord's also in the back line. Tanks need to turn around. Necros is down to 150. Down for the count. Taken out by Iron Fist, but unfortunately, they've got res for it. Alright, Necros should be putting that Snowflake on his flyer Storm here. And Iron Fist is yet again back in the corner. Fortunately for him, though, his team is going in and really taking out the frontal force of the enemies. So they're able to push objective pretty uncontested here for a while. Just Iron Fist up there and the enemies are returning. Looking back for Cloak there. They need to get this Cloak kill if they want a chance at winning point here. And Loki is back on it. Going to be a lot harder to get those kills. Loki pushing around that corner. Watch out for Star-Lord. And Luna is going to be taken out here from the looks of it. Unless Star-Lord backs up. Thankfully he does. Alright, she's 95 on her ultimate, which means Cloak and Dagger and Loki are both getting close. It's going to be a healer battle of attrition very soon here. But he's taken out at 99% and not able to get it. But he gets another Mercy Res. Let's go. Well, not a Mercy Res, but you know what I mean. He gets yet another Res, and he's taken back. Rocket is really carrying that... Rocket is really carrying that for them right now, and they're able to take point pretty uncontested here with 4 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. Looking over at some heals on Magic. Magic going in for the count. Really got to keep his healings on her. His Snowflake should be on her instead of the tank, as I believe he put it back on her. Yeah, it's on Magneto. Really should be not going on Magneto. Probably should be on Magic or Storm. Massive mistake for him, but in this rank it doesn't really matter. Looking for... he's forced to pop ultimate there. Not sure if I agree with that, but in a rank like this, you're just going to get counter pops. That's all that's going to happen. And it looks like it's going to work out for them because the counter pop was not on their teammates. Sell point was not contested. And he's looking for a little bit of heals here. Getting destroyed again by the Iron Fist. Just take it out. Man, it sucks to be on the other side of it. You know, when you're the... It really sucks to be on the other side of this. Loki does not have the same defense. Sorry, Luna Snow does not have the same defense as Loki. So this Iron Fist is just farming. He's doing good. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. Yeah, 21-7. Like, the Iron Fist is eating right now. But unfortunately for him, misses another freeze. I would hop back on Loki. It would be nice if the Rocket, or Rocket hop on Loki. Either one. It's just when you've got a dive comp like that on defense, it is so much easier to deal with Iron Fist as a healer on Loki or Adam Warlock than Luna. And there they go, taking out the Psylocke. Looks like they've kind of shifted up things. They've got the Fireboy there, Mr. Johnny Storm, and Psylocke for the count. But they've also got a weird comp going on with the Shark. Not sure Jeff is a play for the enemy team here. Alright, popping a pretty decent ult there. Going in with the Rocket ult. Don't think they need to use that. They probably could have saved that. But they take down one of the healers. Shark's still remaining up. He does not have his ultimate up, but it looks like Psylocke is going to have hers soon. That's really their only guarantee to win here, is with a Psylocke ult. And there we go, taken with the assist. Going for Shark. Shark is really hard to kill. And they're going with a Psylocke. It should be able to get a kill here, but Magneto gets a bubble off right in time, saving the Luna. 75 on her ult, but she's taken down by Psylocke still. With finishing off on the Magneto, it looks like the enemy team is able to take back point and 30 meters away from capture. Oh! Wait, what? Wait, hold on, what happened here? Oh, okay, what? Something weird happened here. Alright, let's see. So the enemy team, they're on the point, but then she steps off, and how do they capture? Looks like Magic's kind of stayed on there, pushes her off. She's trying to stay on, but it doesn't work, and they C9 off of point, losing objective. That's kind of massive, but like that is super lucky. All right, Necros has got the Shark is right in the back there. They should be dealing with that pretty easily. He should be going for freezes on the Shark. Looks like Shark is going to be grabbing one person off a point if I see correctly and spitting them out off that side. Pretty massive for him, taking on that Magneto off point. Getting a kill here, Necros is again playing a little bit far up. Looks over, Iron Fist is punishing him a little bit. He's got to back up. He should have his freeze up very shortly here in 5 seconds. So you really, as a Luna player, if you're playing Luna, you have to be good with your freeze. You have to. And you should be putting your Snowflake on your flyers or dives. Alright, there we go. Picking up a kill, though. That's not too bad. They got 2 kills up on the ground now. Going for a Luna ult with that Loki and countering it with Necros. Here we go. So they're fighting over point. Looks like one more healer's going to have their ultimate up soon. And as soon as they get the rocket, it's kind of over. Oh, sorry, no, yeah, no, my bad. They've got 3 healers now. So there we go. He wasted his freeze yet again. I don't think he's landed a single freeze this entire game. That's kind of great. Like, I don't play Luna very often, but when I do, I get some pretty nice freezes. Not gonna lie. Especially on Iron Fist, because he runs at your face, right? He kind of charges at you. So, it is what it is. Truly, this might be the hardest role for Necros. I misses another. Bro missed another point-blank freeze. Oh my gosh! But he gets the kill. Unfortunately, dies. So enemy team takes it. They've got 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock, so they do have time to kind of shift things around. All right, Magic is running back. Both their healers are down for the count. 27% for Necros on his ultimate. Gonna be looking back, pulling back a little bit, trying to get something to work here. Looks like Psylocke has got her ultimate up there, going for it immediately. Gonna try and stagger one of the healers, but she unfortunately does not get anybody. They're able to just push out, and she pushes back down to almost death with her, and she's taken out in the background by Magic. So pretty good play. Looks like Rocket laid down a pretty hefty ult there. They don't really have too much to counter it with. They've got Loki, but he's down. And Emma Frost could pop her ult here. He's trying to escape there, but he can't. He's going to be taken off the edge surely here. And taken to her death. Takes 2 people with him. And kind of worth it because he's so close to his spawn. And they're so far away. Alright, they got 30 seconds on the clock. They're now behind the threshold. They're doing worse than their opponent now. But they're still pretty close to point. So they might be able to take this here if they don't have to battle. Looks like Loki switched off and went to Wanda. I don't think that's the play. I think he should have stayed on Loki and just used an ultimate. Just use like Luna or something like that, because I think then they could have won this. But unfortunately, they're just going in, getting killed. There is 0 seconds on the clock, getting the overtime pity into round 3, 3-3. So pretty close match here. All right, so let's make this round quick. Gonna go through this. I don't think we've ever had a match on the channel where we go into round 3 and 4. So usually the matches are pretty. I try to make close matches, but we'll see. All right, so Necros now here pushing over, doing some of his heals. Looks like Tommy Jr. is back on Iron Fist, so probably for the best. He's really got to deal with that Luna very quickly. They've got 30 seconds on the clock, pushing objective a little bit. Could be a bit faster. They're kind of far in there. And Iron Man was able to pick up 1 kill on the Storm, and they do not have time for that. Iron Fist is in the back, trying to look for that Luna pick. Gets a freeze off, gets the first freeze of the game off, but unfortunately, Emma Frost is taken out by Emma Frost, and now Strange is pushing in. And don't know why they switched over to Strange. I really don't think that's a play. I would have preferred a Magneto here, especially when you're so desperate. But they've only got 6 seconds on the clock here. Storm is taking a lot of damage. Really got to stay on that here. It looks like does not have a snowflake on I don't know why he's not putting a snowflake on a Storm. That's bugging me a lot. But Iron Fist is rushing back in here again. He's got 2 seconds on his freeze, so he does have time to counter him. Iron Fist is right there. Just turn around. There we go. And he double pops for some reason. Not really a good play, but it is what it is. And they're going to be able to outplay them here with the Lunas because they pop later. So unfortunate. Kind of wasted. Iron Man goes in, misses his ultimate horribly. That ultimate would have changed the game entirely. Looks like Psylocke is pushing back here. Alright, he finally put his snowflake on Storm. Helping out that Psylocke here. Necros going in. Looks like he's got to watch out for that Strange coming in. I can already see it. Boom! Strange comes in, taking them all out. Huge ultimate. That is going to cost them overtime if she does not get out alive. And takes out the Iron Fist. Can they recover? They recovered from that? How? They actually recovered from that. That's massive. What? I thought they were goners. There's no way. Cleaning up pretty easily. I think Rocky could have saved his ultimate there. Storm is 1 HP though, and Iron Fist goes down. They're pushing pretty damn far here on overtime. Again, like I've had this. I remember one time I just hopped on Psylocke, sat on cart during our overtime, and had 50 seconds, and just shot, sitting on point, and we made it all the way to the end. So it looks like Psylocke going in the back here, trying to pick up a point. She picks up the Luna Snow ult pretty early here. They've only got one ult to counter, and Loki was ready for it. So Loki gets in early. He's going to be popping his ultimate in a second as well. There we go. And there goes Iron Man. Not picking up any kills, though. This could win them the match if they're able to survive here just a little bit longer. They've really got to play for that Rocket ult or that Magneto ult. But unfortunately, it looks like this is where they end. The team just came out with a bunch of ultimates, pushing up as fast as they can. Really should have somebody switching over to Strange, like, desperately. Like, the Storm should not have been going in. The Storm should have switched over to Strange. She had the time to, for sure. And they might have been able to contest a little bit longer. But anyways, that is round 3. Let's go to round 4 to see exactly what happens. And the enemies pushed right in. They're going full gas, not letting anything go. Looks like Shark is right in the way, really trying to make something work here. Iron Fist desperately going for that Luna kill. Luna needs to get more health on that health pack. Pushing back. Frost is back in the corner. Needs to get some heals on her. Turn around. Look for his team. Iron Fist taking out one. Luna not looking good. Gets off a freeze. Trying to find it. It looks like Storm. Focus on that healing. Try to help Storm. Storm should not be focusing on the Shark. Storm should be trying to peel as much as she can here. But the Shark is just kind of on her. Sharky does not do a very good job against Flyers, so I think Storm could have done a lot better if she just kind of pushed back a bit. They've still got time to make something work here. They got 50 seconds on the clock. If they could save their ultimates, wait for around the 20-second mark, and then go for a team wipe on the enemy, they win this very easily. So it's all about just kind of saving your ultimates for the right times. Look at, there goes the Squirrel Girl. She's going to waste there. They get a bunch of kills, push back. They can let this ride. If they regroup, they have to regroup here. It's looking very close. 26 seconds on the clock. They've got only one ultimate up here with Luna Snow coming up very soon. The enemy Luna is at 71% with a Cloak and Dagger at 68%. So they've really got to make something work here. Do not waste your ultimates. Make them waste theirs first. Gets off a freeze on Iron Fist. Looking for that kill on him. He's pushing in, really wasting the healers, but he's going to be taken out. This is their opportunity and moment now. They've got 2 seconds on the clock. Storm is going in, going to try and waste one of the healers. They still do not have healer ultimates up, so this is the only time to kill them if they want to do it, but Cloak and Dagger has hers up. She needs to use this. Why is Cloak not using? There she goes, in for it, and Luna is taken out. That could be the end of the game, it looks like, with overtime on the clock. Not sure why he's pulling out so far. Really not good for him, but it is what it is. It works out. He's alive still. The enemy team's kind of cold-hearted around the point. Going for that freeze, misses it off on Iron Fist. Iron Fist taking out Rocket, looking like a very close game, but their Luna does have ultimate here. They need their Rocket back up. Overtime. Alright, she's 35 on her ult. Rocket's got to pop down his first. Maybe try and get their Luna to pop hers a little bit early. There we go. Got an early pop there. Didn't really need to do that for their Luna, but she did, and that works out. They're going to waste that, and they still have their Rocket, so they have the opportunity to win here if they don't lose too many guys. It looks like Storm was taken out. Rocket goes in with it. Their Cloak and Dagger still building. She doesn't have a lot of time. Goes for the freeze, gets a freeze right off the Iron Fist. Going for more damage when she should be trying to heal, but it looks like the team is kind of ruining it for them. Their overtime is looking very bad. Iron Fist is just wasting time at this point, and that is game. What a close match, man. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Anyways, take care, and have a wonderful day.